I come from a family of storytellers. We always sat around our dinner table. We'd sit down and we'd talk about our day. Sometimes we would start a story and we'd go around the table and we'd add to the story. So we learned to kind of craft our stories. In a certain way, the work that is at this show, all of them are stories. I'm Margery Pearl Gurnett, and I'm an artist. I'm originally from New York City. I live in Rochester, New York now. I came here to go to graduate school at RIT, and I decided to stay because I really like this town. You'll see symbols that I use in a lot of my work. One of them is the spiral. The spiral to me is like a life. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. The show at Geisel Gallery has about 3 years worth of work in it. It does have 55 pieces of work. The works come full circle using everything that I know how to do in art. It's clay, it's building molds, it's cutting, firing parts, it's Photoshop, it's taking imagery, it's computer changing things around. So it seems like everything I know how to do is involved in these pieces. I was a glass artist when I first moved here, and I was a glass blower. As the hot work started kind of waning, I started going more into this other stuff that was more architecturally designed for site-specific places. I have a particular piece. It's called Walk Away. This piece, I think, is the epitome of some of this darker work that I was creating during this period of my life. Then I also started thinking about that there's sort of two sides to things. When you're walking away from something, which may be difficult and hard, you're walking towards something else. In many of the pieces, you'll see birds, and the birds to me are freedom. To me, they're just the freest animal ever you can just lift off. To me, it's an uplifting thing. I have a piece that's swiveled on the wall, and that was about a dark time in my life, and I explained some of the story of what was going on. A centerpiece, and I used it for the invitation, was called Talk to the Forest. It has those birds in it again. It does have a spiral in, but it's much quieter. And then my hand showed up. There's a silhouette of my hand in that piece on the right-hand side of that piece. Sometimes it reads as stop, and sometimes it reads as come on. I've just been using the images of hands for a really long time. I knew 2 years ago that I was going to be in this gallery, and I saw the gallery. I knew that there was this beautiful wall at the end of this hallway which needed to have something special put on it. That piece is called Exaltation. I got hold of a dancer named Elizabeth Martin. She is the woman in many of these pieces. This one image that just has really captured me, that showed her intensity and her love for the dance. So it's like an image that's encased in resin. I knew that I wanted to use a cable type system, and I know that cable type systems exist, but most of the fittings are too large. I didn't actually see it up on the wall completely, and I didn't photograph it until I had the piece up on the wall at the show. It was a bit of a engineering feat.
It's going to look really nice. You
Yeah.
can't tell.
No, I can't tell. You made it much more interesting. You made it absolutely like, oh. So I actually drew out on my computer a scale drawing of the size of the walls and then the size of the pieces that I had, and I moved them around, and until I thought I liked the placement. Jean, who's the head of the gallery, I showed her, she says, it's not going to be that way. And I said, I'm good with that. You make it, this is your part and your expertise, you make it be the way that you want it. You know what she did? She made that thing sing. She made that show sing. It was lyrical. She made it not boring. I am represented in Rochester by the Oxford Gallery. It's a well-renowned gallery here in Rochester, New York. The next show is a smaller show, but it's at in Auburn at the Schweinfurth Arts Center and at the Julius Gallery, which is opening the end of August.